The 4x4 piston door is a pretty popular build among redstoners, essentially acting as a gateway to a higher tier of redstone. Once you've made a standard layout, slimeless, seamless, etc. 4x4, you're in. Provided that it meets certain criteria, of course, but I'm not getting into that. You're just here for the door, not a lecture on what it means to be a redstoner. So this is my 4x4 piston door. It is 14 blocks long, 10 blocks tall, and 3 blocks deep. I was trying to make it 9 blocks tall, but I couldn't figure that out, if I'm being honest. I've spent much too long on this thing, and I just don't want to suffer anymore. But this layout, if you didn't already notice, is actually maxed out. You can't make this layout go any faster without changing it. This means that every single timing is tick perfect. So what that means is that everything is timed to perfection without any inconsistent or conflicting timings. Unlike a particular world record 4x4 vault door. So why is it so big? Well, it's essentially because I've never made one that's this size and speed before. For some context, this is the last one that I made. So this is our build. It's a bit difficult to do a materials list, but I'll give it a shot. I'll do the materials list after I've actually recorded the tutorial segment. The top 2 rows of resources are going to be what you need to make the door itself, and the bottom 2 are for the input that I'm going to show you to make. If you use any other input, there's a high chance that you won't know what input to use, and you'll use the wrong one, and the door is going to break. And if you do that, you can't blame it on me, so please use the input shown in the video. Now before I get into the tutorial, I need to tell you that this door is input bugged. What that means is that you have to power it with a specific type of input, something like a repeater, torch, or even comparator. Don't worry, I'll show you how to make a good input after I show you how to make the door. As you can see, once you run it through a repeater, it both fixes itself and functions correctly. So if you made the mistake of trying to power it with a direct input, don't worry, you can kinda just power it with a repeater. And if you're wondering why I haven't been making tutorials for so long, I think you can understand why. Alright, let's get ready for this tutorial. You're going to come to the center, place some temporary blocks, some supporting blocks for these door frame blocks. Break out these, get out your pistons, you'll need them in a bit. Break out those two. And then just have this 4-block long line of door blocks centered on the first row of your area to build. And just build the rest of your door frame from there. There you go. Now simply decorate a little bit by placing your decorative blocks, like so. Please do note that your door will be inset into the wall 1 block on one side of the door, and 3 blocks on the other. Now, let's get to the layout. I'm going to place a temporary block here, and a line of 4 sticky pistons, like so. Remove that block, and place 2 more that are upward by 1. Then, you're going to place 4 sticky pistons like this, creating your double piston extenders, and you're going to do the same on the other side. Like so. Then, this temporary block, 4 sticky pistons, remove it, and place your other sticky piston like so, and you now have your standard 4x4 piston door layout. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of the wiring. Okay, so you're gonna suffer. You're gonna suffer a lot. You're gonna come around to the back of the door. You're going to place a 4x2 little platform of your wiring blocks. Make sure that they're solid blocks, by the way. If you start placing this on glass, like if all of your wiring blocks are glass, your door is not gonna work. Side tangent. Place redstone dust on all of these. Sticky piston here. Redstone block on its face. A sticky piston facing upward. And a regular block. Again, solid on its face. Now you're going to place a dust on this piston, a block off the edge of that dust on that block, a block here, and then a repeater that you either put on 2 ticks, 3, or 4. As long as it's 2 or more ticks of delay, it really doesn't matter because these pistons essentially just act as a gate for the signal. I'm going to put it on 4 ticks because I feel like it. Then you're going to place another block off the dust. Dust on the block. Now, fun little thing about Bedrock is that you can just kind of place blocks like that. So we're just going to kind of finish our little staircase. But we're going to replace, we're going to replace this block with glass. I'll explain why in a little bit. Then we're going to forget what I'm doing. That's a very common occurrence. Okay, block here, dust here, block here, dust here, block here, dust here. You'll notice we're just kind of staircasing our way up to the top. So we're going to place another block here. And yet another block up. That's right. We just built one of the tallest staircases known to man. We just build up to the center, put some dust here. Now we need one here, we need a block here, and a repeater that you can leave on 1 tick here. We'll come back to that in a second. Right now, we're going to finish up at the bottom. We're going to place a block here, a piston here. We're actually going to get this target block out of my hotbar because we need a redstone torch, and we also need a concrete powder. So after we place this piston, we're going to place 2 dust like so, and we're actually going to use a slab here in a second. First, we're going to place a block up here, a dust, and then a block here, 2 temporary blocks like so. 1 slab of your choice like so. Remove the temporary blocks. 1 redstone dust. 1 block off of it. Dust on that block. Block on this back piston here. And a dust here. Then we're going to place a block off of this dust right here. A sticky piston facing downward. And a solid block on its face. Then we're going to place 1 dust on that block. 1 block here. 1 4-tick repeater right here. 1 block here. Well, 1 sticky piston off of this redstone dust here. And a block on its face, which will be pushed in front of this repeater for a specific timing. Then we're going to come back down here, and we're going to make our funny little double. We're going to make our funny little double piston extender. So we're going to put our lives on the line. No, I'm kidding. We're going to put 1 transparent block of your choice right here. Redstone dust here. Piston facing up. Falling block on its face, such as sand or concrete powder of any kind. And then an observer here. And then we're going to place a redstone block here, so you'll see the dust will power, but this piston will not extend, because transparent block. Then we're going to place another piston here. You'll see it extend outward. You're going to place a redstone torch on top of that piston. You'll notice this torch is in a very careful place where it will not power any of the dust surrounding it. Then we're going to place a block on top of it. The torch will power this block, which will power this dust, but since this is a slab, the signal will not go down, which will not allow a clock to happen. So then, we're going to place a sticky piston right here. You'll see it extend, block on its face, and an observer here. Then, we're going to place a sticky piston off of that piston head facing up, with a solid block on its face. Then we're going to come up here, place an observer facing upward here, 1 redstone dust right here, and a solid block here, and a piece of dust. Then we're going to place a piece of glass here, and a redstone dust here. Then, connected to that, we're going to place a redstone torch off of this block, a sticky piston off of the bottom of it, you'll see it extend, and a solid block here, which will cut this dust that is supposed to happen. Now that's most of the door. Next, we need to add a little circuit for some more delay for this piston right here. So what we're going to do is place a solid block, another one, place a repeater here on 4 ticks, then a piston here, and a redstone torch. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that should be everything. Now, we're going to simply copy this to the other side, and hope that I got it right. Actually, you can test this right now if you'd like. You can run a repeater into here with a lever off of it. If it does this, and then this, functions correctly, then we've done good so far. And all you need to do is mirror what you've built so far onto the other side. So let's do that. Sticky piston here, with a dust on top, redstone block, sticky piston upward, block on its face. You know the deal. Block here, dust, 4-tick repeater. Can be 2, really doesn't matter. I'll just say 4. Then, you're going to place glass block here, dust here, block here, dust. We'll get to the double in a minute. And then we're just going to stack up like this. Okay, you can just build your wire like so. Place redstone torch here to use for later. I'm going to place a block here, dust on it, block with dust on it, remove that. Then you're going to place a redstone block, one slab of your choice, and a dust on top. Then you're going to place a piston here, observer, another piston, then pull out your last sand block, put it right there, sticky piston upward, block on its face, then an observer here. Then you're going to pull out a transparent block with the dust on it. That piston will extend, which is all fine and dandy. Another dust here, block up off the dust with another dust, piston, which should extend, redstone torch, solid block, then sticky piston here, solid block, preferably anyway, observer right here, dust, block, dust, glass, dust, sticky piston off that torch from earlier, and a block on its face. Then piston facing up here, torch, 2 blocks like so, and a 4-tick repeater. Then a block off this dust, place a sticky piston facing down off the side of it, solid block, block like this, 4-tick repeater, block here, 1-tick repeater with a dust behind it, sticky piston off of either the repeater or the dust hitbox so that you don't need a temporary block, a solid block here, and provided that I've actually done it correctly and not forgotten a step, that should be the entire door. A note before you go to test it. You should not be powering it from this line. You should actually be powering it from the back. So, we're going to carve out a little area underneath our door. It would appear that in the tutorial I have forgotten to place a dust on this block. That is my bad. If you've God, I'm gonna suffer editing this. If you've made the same mistake as me, you will probably notice that the door has broken. We are going to start wiring an input, which I'm going to wire on a different color. We're going to place a block here, and we're going to place a redstone torch off of that block. Again, make sure you mirror things correctly, unlike what I just did, and then your door should work to its fullest. Now we're actually going to move our input over a block because I've just remembered something better. Starting from the side of the door that is considered the front, which we will say is the side that is only indented into the wall by 1 block, we're going to put a block down here with a comparator on it. We're going to place a downward facing dispenser here, and we're going to remove this block right here and replace it with a transparent one. And then we'll put the dust back. Otherwise, it will power the dispenser, as you heard. You're going to put the powdered snow bucket into this dispenser, and the door should open. So you're going to place a target block right here. Then you're going to place 2 blocks like so, and 2 dust. And assuming that you have a door frame in place, this will be part of your door frame. Let's just say that this is your door frame. You'll punch out this corner, place a sticky piston facing downward, and you'll want a redstone block on its face. Then you're going to place a button on this block, which will be flat with your wall, and you'll notice if you give it a press, nothing changes even though the powdered snow dispenses. In order to fix this, you're going to place a block here, 1 comparator here, change this comparator to subtract mode by right-clicking it, and place a barrel behind this comparator here. This could actually be any container, really, except a decorated pot. And you're going to place one singular item inside of that barrel. And you'll see your door closes. Which is great, that's exactly what we want. Now, from this side, you have a button toggle for your door. So let's go work on the other side now. We are going to create the same artificial door frame. Really? Now, assuming that you've built a door frame like this one, you're going to punch out the bottom corner again. And this time, you're going to place a sticky piston facing down, but you're not going to place a redstone block on its face. No, no, no. You're going to place a block off the sticky piston's face, and you're going to place another barrel right here. You're going to place 2 wooden shovels inside of this barrel. Then you're going to place a block here with a comparator on it, a block in front of it, a block up here, and one down here, and then another one down like so, running into yet another target block. Then 2 just like this, and then you'll place your button here. Pressing the button will toggle your door, which means it is complete. So you're free to decorate this thing however you want. I've decided to decorate my door like this. Beautiful. If you like the build or you like this video in general, please be sure to give it a like. If this build for whatever reason didn't work for you, be sure to join my Discord server. You can ask in the general chat for some assistance, and I'll be sure to try and help you as much as I can. And with all that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.